Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. So this episode is actually my bonus episode. I've decided on Sundays I'm going to do a bonus episode. So basically, you get 3 episodes a week anyway. Should I just add a third day? Nah, let's leave it like this. So my bonus episode is YYY the series. Now this is obviously an ongoing series. I try not to really review ongoing series because I kind of want to see everything they have to offer. And yeah, so everyone has watched it. If you've watched it already, you're just coming to be like, yeah, that. With this one, I had to review it before. Now the last time I reviewed an ongoing series, it was a series that I'm having problems with. I actually stopped watching the series. I'm gonna wait for them to finish uploading all the episodes, and then I will watch them through at that point. Now with this show, I'm not gonna lie, I went in drinking some haterade. I was like, I am going to hate this show. YYY the series just seems like a show I should hate. Why? One of the biggest problems for me was the fact that a non-trans person is playing a trans person. I have a huge problem with that, personally. I just, it's something I really don't like seeing. When I first heard about YYY the series, I didn't necessarily know what it was as far as it being a sitcom. I just figured it was another BL, and I was like, oh, this is just going to be like every other one. And I was wrong. It's definitely something different, something new, and something that is not in the middle of a college campus with engineering students and hazing. And I am enjoying that. I am thankful for that. So if you don't know about YYY the series, it is currently airing. It started on April 28th of 2020, and the final episode should be airing on July 14th of 2020. It should have 12 episodes all together, and they air every Tuesday. So as of recording this episode, there's only 3 episodes out, and also an additional episode 0, which I definitely say watch. Episode 0 gives you a lot of behind the scenes footage, but the first 2 parts as well are like these mock interviews, like a reality show interview with all the cast in character, and I really enjoyed that. So one of the characters I thought I was gonna not like from the beginning was Madame Porpla. Again, mainly it came from the fact that a non-trans woman was playing this trans woman. Poppy wasn't horrible. Poppy was really funny. Poppy did a good job. He did a good job. Because at first when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I'm mistaking. It's obviously a trans woman playing a trans woman. I don't remember at what point I started thinking, because at first I was like, what is this? Oh, it was the opening sequence where it was, this is a comedy. It has inappropriate things. This show is for adults. If you're watching it with a child, make sure there's parental guidance with anyone under age of 18. That was having me go, oh, I know, it's a trans woman. Just seeing that at first. The entire comedy style of it is usually not my comedy style. I'm trying to think of a comedy that I love and I will watch 100 times over. Ooh. If anyone is familiar with a old British comedy called Keeping Up Appearances, now the show did not age well with some of the little jokes in there, if anyone remembers the blackface episode. But it's still a show that I can watch and I can enjoy. I really like that show. And they had, was he openly gay? It was a character who was obviously gay. And if you think of that time period into it was British television, but just to even do that was awesome. It was awesome. So that was an amazing show. So that's kind of the comedy style I like. If you remember Keeping Up Appearances, or if you know the Ian McKellen show that was out a few years ago. Ooh, I gotta look up the name of it. Yeah, the name of the show was Vicious. It was an amazing show. It had 14 episodes and a Christmas special. I just love that show. I loved it. It starred Ian McKellen, Derek Jacobi, and it also starred Ewan Ryan. Ewan Ryan, if you watched the show Misfits, you might recognize him, or Game of Thrones. But that was an awesome show too. So that's my style of comedy. So when I was coming to YYY the series, especially since it's a Thai comedy and Thai comedies don't land as well with me, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. It's even leaving me tongue twisted. The director is Shewan. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. And this director actually has a pretty long BL catalog as far as directing credits. I saw Make It Right and Make It Right season 2. Or did I see Make It Right season 2? I don't know. I recognize that show. And I saw some other shows on there that I recognize as well and I watched as well. So definitely has a BL directing credit on there. And I feel like did very well because this obviously looks like a small budget production. It's not that many cast members. Honestly, like, you can count the cast. It's all seems to take place in just the apartment building, and the apartment doesn't have that many tenants apparently. How is she making money? Like, Madame Pourpla only allows men to rent from her. She does not allow women in the apartment building. Women aren't allowed in the apartment building whatsoever. So everyone who rents from her has to be born male. You have to be born male. You don't necessarily have to identify as male, but you must have been assigned male at birth in order to live in the apartment building. Would she actually, it does make me wonder now, would she allow a transgender man to live in the apartment building? I mean, he wouldn't have been assigned male at birth, but he is a man. He identifies as male. It makes me wonder. These are questions and I'm now asking that I didn't think to ask. Anyway, so we meet Madame Pourpla. We meet her minions, Mocha and Latte, who are like, the three of them are the comedic relief of the show. They appear out of nowhere. They have crazy outfits. We also meet Knot, who is the main star, and he decides to, because he's getting ready to get kicked out of the apartment building, when a new guy shows up saying he's looking for an apartment, he lies and says, "Oh, this is my boyfriend," and he gets to stay because Madame Pourpla loves yaoi. That's it. She loves the idea of having a gay couple in her apartment building renting from her, so that's how he gets to stay. And Pun, he's actually played by the actor who plays King in My Engineer. So I saw him and I was like, he looks really familiar. And then when I was like getting my information for the show, I was like, oh my gosh, that's King. How did I not realize that's King? Most of the male actors really don't have that much acting credits on there. I mean, Poppy, I saw played in Why Are You the series, which actually is one of the shows that Shewan directed. The actor who plays Pun plays in YYY and My Engineer, and that seems to be his only two series. Who I was surprised about was the actor who plays Yuri and Yuki. So she's Yuri, she's a woman, but in order to get into the apartment building, she pretends to be a man, and it works, and she gets in. But she actually had the longest acting credits out of everyone else that when I was looking through. She had the longest acting credits. She even has a longer acting credit than the director. And she was actually also in Dark Blue Kiss. So when I was like, Dark Blue Kiss, who did she play? She played Kitty. I love Kitty. So yeah, she played Kitty in Dark Blue Kiss. And she's apparently also going to be in Friend Zone 2, Dangerous Area. Is that the name of it? Yeah, and I'm excited about that because I'm a huge Singto fan. I basically watch anything Singto is in, or at least just watch his scenes. Even if I don't watch the whole show, I'm like, I'll just see what he did. And yeah, she was in that. She was in Ugly Duckling. She was in some of the U Prince series playing Minute. I did not watch all of the U-Print series. I only watched the scenes with Singto. If it had Singto in it, I watched those scenes. Just the scenes. I will admit to it. I'm a Singto stan. Now, another reason I was actually worried about the show a little bit, when I was looking at the pics on drama list, it showed like it looks like it was doing the same thing that basically every show does. It gets, straight guys to play these gay characters because the straight guys are attainable. That's what I was expecting, especially when I was looking at the characters that were supposed to be transgender. And again, we come back to non-trans people playing transgender characters. Gets on my nerves. Why does it get on my nerves so bad? I think it gets on my nerves because there are transgender actors out there who would take these roles. I don't know, maybe a transgender actor would watch this and just be like, I would not want any of those roles. Maybe they would, but I actually I enjoyed the series. I go back to because it's funny. But yeah, I was worried about when I was looking through the pictures, non-trans actors playing transgender characters. I'm used to people who aren't gay playing gay characters. That's just society now. It just is what it is. And I was also worried that, this is going to be like a story that's written by some straight woman who loves gay men and has this fantasization. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me today? And she fantasizes about what she thinks gay men do and gay men are. And the show actually felt like whoever worked on the script, was making sure, because another thing, effeminate gay characters being treated as just the butt of the joke. No, everyone is the butt of a joke. This is a straight up comedy. Everyone has their funny moments. Everyone has their running gag. So far, I love Arm and because in the first episode they have an interaction and you realize, is an idiot. Got it. And I love that whole thing. I felt like this was just a comedy series that happened to have a mainly gay cast. Because it's funny. It's actually a funny show. And I really do feel like the humor in this show can actually cross country lines. Because every country has their own different comedy style usually. This is just, to me, it's so funny, or maybe I've just gotten so used to Thai BL, but to me, this just feels so funny that it can actually cross into different comedic zones and do well there. I do think this show, I can see it being a hit. Now, is the acting like splendid and amazing? Not at all points, but from the behind the scenes, you can see that they actually do work with acting coaches, and characters were very worried about, members of the cast were very worried about how they were portraying characters, and they made sure to get advice, get help with their acting, and worked on it so that they were presenting it well and not going too over the top. The actor who plays Pun, Tay, his name is Tay, he actually talks about in the behind the scenes how what he likes about this environment, it's so relaxed that he is able to work and also learn. So that actually to me is good, especially since they have so many cast members that this is like their first show or only their second show. They're getting a chance to really learn and grow so that they can go off to their next audition and, book that next gig. I am happy with this series. I actually have nothing too negative to say about the series, mainly because it just started. There are some things in the series that worry me because in the behind the scenes, I did see a scene with and Yuri/Yuki where she is drunk. Well, they're both drunk, but she is more drunk, and he is trying to take her, it looks like, to his room. which is why that worries me. I'm like, oh my gosh, please do not do this, because so far I like your show. I really like this show. Please do not do this to me. So that was the one part where I was like, oh my gosh, don't do this. Please don't do this. So I'll see when it gets to that episode if this ends up being a show that I'm like, oh, nope, I'm out. I was wrong. Like, I think that's probably one of the only things that could really just make me go, I'm out. I'm out. Because right now, I do love all the cast. I love all the characters, I should say. I don't know the cast that well, but I love all the characters. I love that all the jokes are these like wild gags, and just there's slapstick here, there's misunderstandings, there's, oh my gosh, this person's like, it's so, to me, it's so good so far that I'm just enjoying it so much. And I think because it's so crazy, I'm able to easier look past some problems because it adds to the comedy, if that makes sense. Like, especially with dramas take themselves so seriously, so when there are flaws, they jump out at you more. It's like, oh my gosh, seriously, what were you thinking with this? How could you do that? Look at this actor. You know, all those flaws jump out at you. But with this being a comedy and the cast actually being funny, yeah, most of the cast being funny, it doesn't take me out as much as if it was a drama and I would see this, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But because it's a comedy and the cast is actually funny, their timing is actually really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying even their timing, and everybody who has to work with certain people, because they work together so often, they're able to keep up with each other's timing and get everything right. This so far, I'm only 2 episodes in, because episode 3 is coming out tomorrow at the time of recording. It's coming out tomorrow. It comes out every Tuesday. It airs every Tuesday. I'm probably not going to see it until Wednesday or Thursday. But anyway, so far, it's just so good. I am enjoying it. I am here for it. I am down for it. Please don't mess this up. Please don't destroy this. Please don't mess this up. There are so many shows out there that had such great potential in their first few episodes, and then they got to like episode 5 usually is where it's like the make or break. It's like they have nothing going on anymore, we're out. Episode 5 is usually that make or break it. So please don't mess it up. It's been so good so far. So yes, definitely watch YYY the series. The links will be in the description box. Check it out. Support it. I am down for supporting it. It's going to be the link to the Line TV link. This shows left me speechless. It was actually really enjoyable. I did not expect, like, when I say I went in with haterade, I'm not joking. I went in expecting to go, I don't like this. Instead, I went in and went, that's not funny, okay, this is hilarious. Like, it starts off with me just going, whatever, and then it just hits a certain point, and I guess when they got to that point, they finally hit their stride. And it's not that it started off bad. It did start off like, okay. It was okay. It was just, there was just this point that when they hit it, maybe it was just for me, but they just hit this point where I was like, this is the show. When I almost lost interest, there's a scene where all the tenants are lined up because Madame Pourpla is investigating a situation, and I almost jumped because they have the 2 characters that are the Chinese immigrants who are trying to become actors in Thailand, which it's not bad. It's just in that moment it was so exaggerated that I was just like, wow. What? And yeah, that whole scene actually was just so exaggerated, which makes me feel like that's probably one of the first scenes they shot, because everyone was still trying to become comfortable with their characters and comfortable with acting and bouncing off of each other with their acting. So, but I feel like once I got past that scene mainly, I was finally able to fully enjoy the show. Right now, just based on the 2 episodes, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Just based off the 2 episodes. Why a 7 out of 10? I want to wait and see what comes. I want it to completely beat my expectation. And at the end of the series, I want to be able to say it's a 9.5. No one gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I want to be able to say it's a 9.5 out of 10 eventually. So hopefully. Let's see. So yeah, just be prepared when you're watching the show. It's going to be, like I said, a lot of these actors, this is like their first gig or their second gig. So expect a lot of new actors, fresh actors still learning. And so some of the scenes are going to be like, but they're getting in there and it's getting good. I'm really enjoying this so far. Episode 2, it was like the final hook for me where I was like, I'm in, I'm done, I'm in, this is my show. It took 2 episodes. Every show takes like 4 episodes for me to finally be like, yeah, I will continue to watch this show. That show was like, first episode was a maybe, second episode was definitely, I will finish this. Definitely. It was amazing. So yeah, check out YYY the series on linetv.com and support it. 100% support it. Thank you guys so much for your time. This has been JD Young with another Boys Love review for you. I want to thank you so much for spending the time with me, and I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are.